welcome to Punk 5 Pop. I'm Punk 5, and today I want to go over a little bit of news with you about New Mutants. Now, as you can see here, it's an article pulled up from Screen Rant explaining apparently that we are not going to be able to get New Mutants on Disney Plus, Hulu, or video on demand. It actually has to go into theaters before it can enter streaming. Now, being a huge X-Men fan and kind of a New Mutants fan, at least in terms of the comics, I have gone back and forth about my feelings on this movie. I would love for it to be good. I mean, we got some a couple of okay actors. I just want a good X-Men movie in general. But this movie has been in development hell for years now, even before Disney took over Fox. But apparently, according to director Josh Boone, due to a contractual obligation, this movie cannot hit any kind of streaming service before it comes out in the theaters, which is a fairly big problem when theaters are closed down still because of the current pandemic issue. And on one hand, the delay has been nice. As you can see, Boone explained that he's been able to tweak the movie to get it just right, even though it's been years, and I doubt he needed years to fix this movie. And if he did, we have far bigger problems on our hands already. Still, this was supposed to be coming out, let's see, looks like it was going to be coming out in August. But then again, Tenet has been on everyone's mind a lot about it. All its different supposed release dates, so who knows when this could actually happen. Problem still is that due to the contractual obligation signed long before the pandemic, it has to go into an open theater before it can be put out digitally. Now, they may not give us the full details of why it has to be put out in theaters first. Could be something along the lines of the problems Universal and AMC had with each other, where Universal tried to put out Trolls World Tour on VOD, and AMC threatened to never release a Universal movie in their theaters again. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going on here. Also, it could just be that the actors were demanding it for their own obligations, more exposure and things. Especially if you're somebody like the actress who played Arya Stark. If you're wanting to make a move to more movie roles instead of TV star roles, you're gonna need as much exposure as you can get, and releasing a movie straight to VOD just doesn't feel all that different from just any other streaming movie or TV show to me. It's not the same experience. Now, for whatever reason, they are still determined that this thing is going to come out, even though, honestly, Disney could have left this thing on the shelf, never brought it up again, and everything would have probably been better off that way. People would have ended up forgetting about it, things could have moved on, they could have just silently paid the actors and everyone they had to for it, and then just pretend that it was never a thing. But they have to try and recoup some of the money that they have spent on Fox, especially now that they are hemorrhaging money with their theme parks closed, theaters closed, toy sales in the toy sales are a dumpster fire right now, especially for Star Wars. Their comic sales are down. I mean, Disney tried to buy up everything, and now they're realizing the consequences of having that many different corporations underneath them. But as you can see here, Boone and Disney are determined to see this movie released. They just have to figure out how and when. Which is something that I'm not sure how they're planning on doing that safely right now, or at all, with so many states moving back and shutting more stuff back down. Odds are, even if you somehow found theaters in the US to release this to, it's not going to be that many, and it's not going to make that much money. So, at this point, Disney's got a real problem on its hands in terms of working with theaters to avoid issues of pissing off theater owners and complying with contracts that they made before the pandemic. But let me know what you all think about the fact that New Mutants can't be released on streaming down below in the comments. Be very curious to see how many of you even care if this movie comes out in theaters and if you would go see it if it finally does. Check back in with me a little later, and I'll have some more movie news coming up about Universal and AMC striking a deal together. And until then, I've been Punk5. I'll see you around.